If you have toxic people in your work environment, this video is for you. I want to walk you through exactly how to navigate toxic people in your environment that you may not necessarily be able to control. Now, before I get started, I want to let you know that I have a free guide and workbook on mastering and making confident decisions in your life and your career. So if you're interested in that, drop your email in the link in the description. Now, navigating toxic people at work is a skill, and it's a skill that you get to practice in order to protect your peace, and it is so worth it. Now, I know what worked for me was I actually just had to go through the process of getting absorbed into what was happening around me and learning the hard way. And I'm making this video so you don't have to do it that way. And the things that I learned while navigating people or bosses that, didn't necessarily have my best interests in mind was I had to prioritize myself. And this is going to go against probably a lot of what our external environment and our culture says, because we are taught that in order to get where we want to be, in order to get ahead or reach our goals or get the promotion, is to actually do what everyone else wants us to do. So you're going to have to take my word for why this works and how that making yourself feel better and prioritizing you is actually the solution to navigating and having peace despite the toxic environment that's around you. And then once you clean up that, you get to decide from this clean, confident, grounded place, do I want to stay in this environment, or do I want to get a new job, a new team, a new role? And this is exactly what I help my clients do inside Elevate, which is my 12-week transformational career coaching program, where it's a group of people that are committed to loving the work that they do in the world. So my first tip for you, limiting your exposure. Now, this might seem really simple, and it also might feel like it's not doable, but it is. Trust me. Limiting exposure by implementing boundaries is a skill to have. Now, when you have boundaries around your work and who you are, it's going to protect your peace. You only are in control of what you do. You're never going to be in control of what other people do. So by feeding in or not implementing the boundaries that you want to have, it'll just create resentment. It'll create that feeling of, right, your toes being stepped on or not being respected. And then from that place, the problem can grow even bigger. So you don't want to get to that place. You want to limit your exposure right now, today, right? Whether that's, less meetings or less chats or less check-ins, do what you can to protect your peace. So first step, limit your exposure. Now, second step, this is really more of an energetic boundary. I want you to see them as energy in their own environment. So when you are, especially if you are like a really sensitive person to what people say, what people do, you're going to take on some of that energy, and it's not going to feel good for you. And it's not your responsibility either. So when you see them as energy in their own environment and projecting onto you, you're able to energetically have a boundary, as well as step one, like limiting your exposure and having a concrete boundary. When you see someone that is maybe talking bad about someone else on your team or giving you feedback that really isn't appropriate, or maybe they are, messaging you at midnight. All of those things are just a projection of them, right? They're not feeling in control of the situation. They're not feeling confident. They're not feeling worthy. It doesn't have anything to do with you. You're not responsible for that, even if they're your boss. Even if they're your boss. So seeing them as energy, and almost like, I imagine what's helpful for me is just like imagining them in their own little bubble of energy, and they're just like putting out negative energy. You have to assume if that's the person that's toxic. So let them keep that and don't absorb it for you. It's not your fault. It's not your responsibility. And you can just witness them in their experience, even though it's toxic. Don't absorb and emotionally attach to what they're experiencing, because it's not yours. It may be triggering you or activating you, but it's not yours. You're not responsible for that. All right, so 1, limit exposure, create a concrete boundary, and 2, create an energetic boundary, not taking responsibility for how the person thinks or feels. And number 3, be an example of what's possible. Be an example of what's possible. Even if you're managing up and you're like, it's not my responsibility to do this. It's not my responsibility to have this emotional maturity or this clarity or to manage my boss, right? But it is your responsibility for your own personal growth. When you are the one that is grounded and clear and confident and sure of who you are and what you do and what your role is in the workplace, you are going to become a conscious leader, and you're going to make more money as a result of it. You are going to make better connections, promotions, career advancements. Being a conscious leader and having the emotional intelligence part of it, along with your skills of what you do, is a game changer. You are going to create so much value in the world, in the workplace, and you're going to impact people. And ultimately, that is what you want to do, what serves your purpose, what's more fulfilling. So instead of like, who am I? Why do I have to do this? Remind yourself that you're the perfect person to show people what's possible when you stand in clarity, truth, and from a conscious place. And to me, that's so exciting. Even if the culture doesn't support that, you get to go first. Okay, so navigating toxic environments, not easy, but simple and doable. Create energetic boundaries, create logical boundaries, having in place, and be an example of what's possible. Because if you're watching this video, you're a leader, you're conscious, you're aware, and you want to pursue excellence and be better at what you do. All right, thanks for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. Let me know what you heard in this and what you're going to implement. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.